if you want to figure out this function's graph from this function's graph, you need to analyze this question like this. The relationship between fx and gx is created by this equation. That is to say, gx equals negative f negative x. So first we need to focus on this function. Here we have the square root of x plus 9 minus 1. Here you should think of the base function. The base function is fx equals square root of x. We have four kinds of base functions. Fx equals square root of x, fx equals x, fx equals 1 over x, fx equals x squared. Here, in this situation, we need to make use of this kind of base function. So, we focus on the base function. We have now one. The base function, its graph, should be like this. Should be like this. Okay. It is square root of x. Now we need to analyze this part. X plus 9 under the square root sign. Here we assume this is x0, so it should be square root of x0. Now we need to guarantee x plus 9 equal to x0, so x equals x0 minus 9. That is to say, x should be smaller than x0. The difference between them is 9. So if we want to guarantee the y-coordinate the same, we just need to move every x0 to the left side to get x. Because if we can get the x, on the basis of the x, we add 9, we can get the x0. And if we plug in x0 into this expression, we can get this y-coordinate. So this is so-called keeping the y-coordinate unchanged. So for this point, we just need to move to the left side by 9 units. This point, we also need to move to the right side by 9 units. So every point, we need to move to the left side by 9 units. Then we can get the new graph. Here you need to know it is 9. This one. We also need to move to the left side. That is to say, this point should be here. This point should be here. This point should be here. Okay. Normally speaking, we need to locate the end points, image points. So here, this point, it should be here. This part also 9, and this point, it should be here. And this point, it should be here, so we can get the new graph of this x plus 9 square root. On the basis of this function, we just need to translate this function upwards by 1 unit. So this point should be here. That is, say every point on the blue graph, we just need to move them upwards by 1 unit. So we connect them, we can get this graph. Okay, here and here we can get this graph. It should be square root sine x plus 9 minus 1. This is fx. This is fx. Okay, on the basis of this function, we need to focus on the function of gx. First, we want to get f negative x. We just need to reflect this function's graph in the y-axis. So this is the graph. Now we want to reflect this graph over y-axis to get this function's graph. So we can locate. It should be here. Okay, this is the end point, and this one, still this one. So we need to reflect this curve over the y-axis. That is, say, we can get the new graph should be like this. Should be like this. Okay, it should be a curve. Okay, this is the f negative x. Okay, on the basis of this function, we want to figure out this negative f negative x. From this one, change to this one, we just need to reflect this function's graph in the x-axis. We can get this function. So we just need to reflect the green curve in the x-axis. So this point should be here, and this point should be itself. This point should be here. So we connect them, we can get this curve. Okay, this is the end point. This is the end point, and the curve should be extending in this direction. Okay, now, generally speaking, we can make use of the base function, this one. Then we get this one. On the basis of this function, we get this function's graph. So on the basis of this graph, we can figure out this function. Here, we make use of reflection. Here, we make use of reflection method. So finally, we get this graph. Okay, this graph representing the function of gx.